There we go. All right. And we're back. Thanks, Nicole, for making us sound better than we normally are and giving us the break we much need. And then Tristan went to bed because you know what? It's needed and it's late. So now for everyone's favorite segment, Jacob's a Jew.
Jesus.
No, not him. I guess he was also a Jew.
He was.
War rages across the mortal realms. Do I have to do this whole thing? All right, so there's a new Deathbringer, which is hilarious because there's already 2 old Deathbringers,
which still look great.
They still look great. New guy looks even greater. They posted a really good looking model who, believe it or not, has a helmet with horns on it, a big shield, a big axe, and a lot of skulls. And he is the Deathbringer. And there's also going to be a new Blades of Khorne Chaos Batoltomy.
How do we feel about the cover art?
It's kind of weird.
Mid.
It's not. It's not the worst they've done. It's not the best they've done. It's not horrible.
What is good about it is true to the army you will see. It's not like some unit that doesn't get play. You will see 40 of these.
Yeah. Like I kind of want them to release new units, and disappointingly, they are doing the same old thing of. Oh.
Did we lose Jacob? Oh, no, never mind.
No, it's Margot crawling on the floor.
Jesus.
She wanted to steal back her blanket.
That's so funny. I like how she's just guiltily just like sitting there like, oh, nope. But yeah, I would like more new units, and
you mean you're not satisfied with a new foot hero and nothing else?
I'm just scared for the KO book. Like, I want KO to get new units. It's like,
you mean you don't want just a new foot hero and nothing else?
No, I would rather not just a foot hero.
They have a new box if we continue.
What if your new foot hero had an axe and a shield?
Yeah, sure. He's already a guy, right, in the book?
Yep.
There's 2. Yeah, there's Aspiring Deathbringer and Exalted Deathbringer.
Yeah, so are they just actually getting rid of some to just make it a Deathbringer?
I don't know, but I really think there's a list with like 15 Exalted Deathbringers.
It's literally like an anniversary model.
Yeah,
it's
that's what it is.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, he looks great, without a doubt. But it's like, you could use either. Like, you don't need to rush off to get him.
That's not quite true. If you're feeling like buying him, you should absolutely rush out and get several using the affiliate link on Frontline Gaming's website. But there is also a new Spearhead box coming out, which is going to have Karanak, 2 units of 5 Flesh Hounds, and the Claws of Karanak. I mean, and I've heard some people...
Flesh Hounds, right? Currently.
What's that?
You don't even see Flesh Hounds currently, right?
They're good at.
No, now that they lost the Dispel or Unbind.
They're still +2 to charge, though.
Mm-hmm. So and Karanak still has really cool movement shenanigans.
Yeah.
And I think Claws of Karanak have a place in a lot of armies.
Which is kind of interesting to see them come out in a new box set, because it just shows that they're not going anywhere. Because there's a lot of Warcry warbands that are kind of just
gone.
And no. Yeah.
No, not my Warcry warbands. The 5 units of Skirgan Trueblades I'm painting.
Yeah, I mean, they're there, right? I know in the Stone Mason guys, they got a lot cheaper in the new edition.
Jade, whatever.
The Jade Obelisk guys. So, yeah, it's it's for people hanging on to the models. They're not going anywhere. Claws are awesome.
I think it's a fine box. I think it's super thematic. if I was starting a corn collection and like you already have a bunch of Blood Warriors, like I could totally see buying this.
Yeah, the
I
claws
don't
will.
know that, like, I think that what happens at the beginning of every edition is everyone forgets that screens exist. And
Yep.
so the meta is dominated by whoever has 18 Storm Fiends or 18 Varangard. And like this right here, this box is 440, 450 points. And it gives you like a legit hero that does some crazy movement manipulation, two good screens, and then one pregame moving screen. That also is like decently hitty if it's near the flesh hounds.
They
So like
flesh
I
hounds
don't hate
will
it.
rip up a caster
Yep.
or something with a 5-up save or whatever. They'll light them up.
And Karanak makes them not beasts, or
Yeah.
they ignore
Yeah.
the counts as one beast rule.
Yeah.
I see
Or
value
two.
in it. Like it's not gonna kill stuff. That's the thing is like we're used to looking at boxes like, oh, it's got, like 6 Immortus Guard and 2 Morghast. Like this box is gonna kill the world. This box is not, but it will stop people getting into you for a turn and a half.
It's actually funny. Everything in that box is 110 points each.
That is funny, Date.
um, Hounds are great. I've run them they're in my worlds list and whatnot, and they are just
Really?
something that people don't want to dedicate effort into removing.
But they don't have swords.
They don't have swords. They're fast. They get the charge. They grab things, and then like you said, they're cavalry bases, so they're great screens.
And again, I know I mentioned this, but Karanak's movement manipulation is pretty wild.
Yep.
You pick an enemy hero, and anytime they move in the opposing movement phase, you get to move Karanak 8 inches as long as he doesn't move further from that target. He can retreat. He can move out of combat if you want him to.
Yep.
He can't move into combat, but that's pretty cool.
I mean, Blades of Corn are not lacking in ways of moving into combat.
Yeah, but yeah, totally. But it
And
gives you
it-
an extra piece of movement manipulation.
And with the hounds, he's also +2 to charge.
Right.
With
I could see it being
then
good
if you
to
got
help
the support,
deny.
you're 3d6 +2.
Yeah.
I mean, he might just lose everything that's cool about him in your book.
Can you not?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really? Right here, right in front of my Blades of Corn new spearhead box,
Right in front of my Deathbringer.
Insert Mike True.
right in front of my third Deathbringer.
Deathbringer looks amazing. The box is
Whoa,
not
why are you becoming a robot. Oh, now you're back.
sorry. I was shutting the studio the shirt. Yeah. Like Jacob said, I got a ton of hounds because I know one of the best boxes during Demon's Corn was to get the 40k starter box, which was like 40 bloodletters or something, and 2 units of hounds, priest. Yeah, it was awesome. I got a few of those boxes. I basically got 2 of those boxes, and I had 2,000 points of like demons for when I started Corn.
Yep.
So no shortage of hounds on my end, but they are great models and they're easy to paint and get to the table too. And
Yeah, the new ones are really cool. The old ones are a little derpy.
yeah.
But I like the new ones.
yeah, and 110 points for a really good screen. That, yeah, it's a lot of it. They're 4 attacks each, I think.
Well, thank goodness they're
fours
not
and
changing
threes.
the stupid ass base sizes again.
What do you mean?
They were on rounds once upon a time, and then they became ovals.
Was that a 40k thing? They were never on rounds in AOS.
The Slanesh versus Corn box of yesteryear. It was on. They're on like 40mm rounds.
To the tapes.
And I got annoyed. I used the Unicorn army, and I had to rebase the whole thing. And all of them were lava bases once upon a time, and I was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, I don't lava that.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, and Corn's awesome. They've always been kind of biting in the meta. They present a lot of challenges for people that have never played against them before.
Well, as the old saying goes, Soulblight Gravelords are frightful. and
Yeah.
Slave to Darkness are delightful. And if
I
you don't
hate
know what
call
army
you-
to play,
They
Play your
were
corn.
on rounds.
Play your
100%.
corn.
Play your
Play your
They
corn.
were on rounds.
I'm calling you a liar, Carl.
No, they're on rounds when it's
the
fun.
realm of chaos, wrath, and rapture. They are the new models on cavalry bases.
We're flesh hounds on rounds.
Listen, I got it shared right now. I'm presenting facts to you.
Jamie, can we check that?
You can't just lie on this show. Okay. Okay.
50 millimeter bases. What the fuck?
I think he's right. I think they used to be. It was like a 40K versus AOS thing. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it was. I don't know. The ones I got, I had to fucking.
This is why we can't let Bud leave the show
Exactly.
because he also wouldn't know.
Tristan leaves. We don't drink when we mention 40K. Things are just going off the rail.
I'm looking at magic cards right now.
So
Stop.
new GHB, huh?
Yeah. Hey.
Have you guys played any games yet?
I got a game scheduled for Wednesday with
I
Dylan.
That's not
but
really answering the question, Carl. Can you tell me about your actual experience with the game?
It's interesting.
How dare you, sir?
It was more of like us learning the rules and kind of differentiating.
So,
what-
like, what everyone's going to be doing?
yeah. But like, there wasn't any massive tactical insight in terms of like either one of us. Our lists were our AOS 3 lists, and you know, actually, I love big hero models and things that like kill the world, like my Usharan and my Vordry, but they might be starting to go the way of the dodo. So
How do you mean?
just
Say more words.
Just because the new JHB, with the obscuring rules, they've changed obscuring to be within one of terrain pieces now. So, but it no longer just excludes things that fly. It now also excludes monsters and
Yeah.
machines. And so, a lot of people are like, well, shooting is dead. Shooting is dead. That's kind of the big takeaway now. But a couple of the people in my area play loads and loads of games. I think a couple of the people have played 10 plus games of the new JHB already on TTS. Jake, I'm looking at you. Devin, I'm looking at you.
Nerds.
And they've correctly identified that it's going to be because people are saying that shooting is dead, they're going to start to take monsters, and when monsters are starting to arrive again, then
People take shooting.
and then it's just going to, rebalance itself there, but they're ahead of the curve. Everyone's like, well, there's no more shooting. I'm going to take my monsters. These players who, usually win the tournaments or do very well in the tournaments around me are starting to take massive shooting elements again to kill these big hero models that they're anticipating. And so I have to be 2 steps ahead in order to counter those people there's a lot of this going on over my head. So it's kind of like a
But I thought that was the floor.
yeah, it is the floor that I'm underneath right now. But yeah, that's kind of like the cyclical
The
thing
basement.
that's happening right now. A lot of players are just going to be learning, and I could probably beat them in terms of just pure experience of how many games I'm probably going to play after the GW Open. And so I have to kind of gear my list and stuff towards the people who are going to be at that same experience bracket as me.
Well, yeah, you got to get that 5-alarm trophy because Ridge has one.
Yeah, I have one. Somewhere over there.
The big one. The good one.
Oh, it's pretty nice.
Actually, to kind of go, when I first read the rules for the new JHB, I was really hoping that the -1 to hit for a hero was a thing, but then they did the GW thing where it's like, no, the other rule doesn't account for monsters, because that would have been neat to see. Because yeah, you want to see your big boys like survival,
Yeah.
and shooting just makes it so it's not.
Yeah.
Long
We'll
strike
see as well
crossbows.
to see if the covering fire thing is also a mistake. I think it's a mistake.
Yeah,
It says your shooting
Your
phase
shooting phase.
currently.
I don't see the problem with that.
Um,
can't shoot twice.
it does mean that you can't all attack the one shooting element, like because you can't use two command abilities in the same phase. So you have to think about double shooting or getting +1. And the all-out attack debuff, the -1 to save, actually does mean that if you do all-out attack, later on you do suffer that -1 to save again. But I think it's too early to tell. The battle tactics are quite hard. A lot of people are leaning towards scouting force or what have you as the one they pick, but they don't look at the caveat of you can't be in combat to score it. And a lot of people are getting that currently wrong. Watching some games people play. So
Coach. See, that's coach moves right there.
I think we'll see people complete 3 to 5 battle tactics, being 3 and 4 as the most common number that people get. So if that's the case, then like a lot of people are looking at the battle tactics as a whole, like 1 to 3. But you might take one
Like the peel
1 to 3, and then
is 1 to 4.
1 to 2. Yeah, no. The P holes is 4, but yes.
Yeah.
So Scout is super good. There is the drawback of like, it's not necessarily like you can counter it by charging people. You can also counter it by just killing all their scouts.
Yep.
Shooting
Again.
Probably not, because scouts are specifically infantry and cav units.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have the, but
Sure.
it does mean like super aggro armies. Something that's gonna get in your face fast and really put a lot of hurt out there. Is pretty significant.
Carl, would you say the armies that are shooting heavily are doing so with more than one unit? Or is it still concentrated around one big block of the shooting?
It's probably one big block still.
So all the defense still has a good purpose with the changes.
Yeah. Like you'll still see sentinels. You'll still see dark shards. You'll still
Long
see
strikes.
Long strikes. But those long strikes are geared towards killing, again, monster heroes, right? That I can't hide. So
The thing to think about is that obscuring terrain also will affect the ranges, right? You could ostensibly, defensively, even if you have a monster, pick an objective or pick a terrain piece that your opponent can't avoid, make it obscuring, and then all of the little guys who are shooting at you suddenly have half range, and they no longer are going to be able to get to your monster.
the other way around, yeah, that's very smart. To
Thanks, I thought of it myself.
use it aggressively instead of defensively. Yeah, it's interesting.
Right.
The other thing too is like massive spell range armies. Things like Tzeentch, like they are gonna just like, if I'm a Soulblight army and I have Vordry is just gonna get targeted by everything now. So it's like, is he worth the 490, 500 right now? But the rumors say he's gonna go to 490. Whoa.
Yeah, he didn't show me he was worth the points when I played against him.
He's supposed to be
It was everything else.
multiplier in your army, but he doesn't allow you to do that ability that often. Oh.
That's Jacob.
So I played a game.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Stop playing with your phone.
No, I was trying to pull up the rules.
Your phone was like static.
Yeah, it's getting static on. I
Oh,
don't know.
I'm so sorry.
Weird.
I was trying to pull up the rules so I could see if
It's like old
spell
school.
ranges were affected by obscuring.
Only
They're
If it's just
not,
attacks.
but a lot of things are pick visible.
Right. I also played a game. I basically tabled my opponent 2 into 3 with a double after scoring tactics in 2, and then I was
Still
gonna.
AOS.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sort of how I'm approaching this one, because I enjoy playing techie armies, and then always go 3-2 because I run up against people who are playing like straightforward armies.
Yeah.
And then I'll beat all the people who don't understand the tech, and then I'll lose against people who have armies that can fight, like where everything fights.
Or
So-
don't care about the tech. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
die.
So like I'm basically thinking about like Marathi in Daughters, or just like tons of infantry in Daughters with Krathusa.
Elves all the way down, right?
Yeah, and then Yeah, probably Stonehorns, maybe with Feetnos. I mean Kragnos. I mean Orion. I do think 5 Maw Crushes is funny, but because they don't get to repeat their rampage. But there's something about taking like 5 or 6 just huge monsters that are all heroes that is appealing because places of power can heal, give you
Yes.
a 2 heal to everything that's within an inch of all the places of power. So you're not just spending it on your rallies, right? You have more sources of healing that are sort of more abundant.
160 millimeter bases are the fucking worst
I actually
to
need
put
to
around
get
on a table, though.
Yeah, and I need to get a proxy because I kept in the tournament we won't talk about. I kept running into scenarios where I had actually blocked myself off because I don't.
What did you run?
Just a smattering of things. I basically ran Vordry 3 units of True Blades, a Vampire
Because
Lord,
Flurjai's a 160 now?
160 now.
Yeah, because he was 130 before.
10 Barrow Knights and the Barrow Knight Hero.
Barrow! What were they borrowing?
They're borrowing my luck apparently. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I wanted that joke to hit better. I was rooting for you.
Yeah, no.
I definitely think you're right that like that's definitely something that hampers giants and it hampers the like 4 or 5 Maw Crusher lists. I'm just sort of thinking about what's going to be the lightest hobby lift in terms of like I don't need to buy a whole new army. I can kind of smash this together with a couple fun pieces. Yeah, and then I'll have a complete army there.
Here's the other thing too that I think a lot of people haven't been playing with because it's currently rumors right now, but based on what Goonhammer had published, which
Kairos
is going to be very very legitimate, is the reroll. Like, do you think people are going to go back down to 1 drop, or are we gonna be seeing people who are pushing the limits of 3, 4, 5 drop? Like obviously some armies like cities has to play in the higher end spectrum, but a lot of AOS's problem, at least in this previous GHB, is the 1 to 2 double. Like if you're like a 1 drop, you just play on the bottom of 1. If you manage to double like with Vanguard or Stormcast Turtles, you could just table your opponent and the game's done. But with that reroll now, you have a 25% chance of winning it now with the reroll.
Yeah, Fabian posted the numbers on that. It's pretty crazy.
Chance to win, chance to lose. But yeah, it's 25% as opposed to a 40 whatever it was previously.
So I think that something that sort of tags in with that idea is the idea of when you're going for your battle tactics. And in my head, especially in scenarios where the underdog mechanic is really impactful, you're not really going to try to score a ton of tactics turn 1. In my head, you want to be losing by like 2 points turn 1, get underdog, get your extra CP, score 2 tactics in turn 2, play for the double, table your opponent, and score the rest of your tactics 3, 4, 5, or score, I guess, 4 and 5, right? And then, like with that, being able to play for that double, while having a bit of underdog momentum swing on that turn 2, especially into 3, I could see that being hugely impactful. I've already been writing most of my lists are like 4 drops anyway, or like 4 regiments, which is low for me because I was playing, way too many Deathmasters before that. And now that Deathmasters are only 100, I'm still not going to be playing more than 5 of them because giving away auxiliary CP is just the worst.
Skaven went down tons.
Oh, so much. I could run 20 Deathmasters, Dayton.
I'll be running the same as I've been running. Legion. It's still really good. It's still stupid. And now with the cancellation to shooting and the fact that it's mostly infantry base, it just makes it even better.
Yeah.
Not that Shooty wasn't scary anyways, but-
Bellacore is a big trap, right? So you.
Yeah, put your shots into him. Don't just never, never do it. And then obviously Kairos got a big glow up too with the changes to the secondaries and stuff, right? Being able to change it on the fly is pretty nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really cool. I'm actually looking really forward to. Unfortunately, like I said, this game coming up this week is against a friend who's going into that Edmonton, so he'll want to play this edition.
Old.
Yeah,
Zet.
and I'll run Soulblade Graveyards against him just to kind of give him an idea of it because he needs to know going into it. Not Carl's list.
Bad.
Not Carl's list.
Just shove into your opponent.
And then play Warhammer.
Yeah, and then go pee in a
Yeah.
barrel. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually testing out how that list, Legion of the Ever, whatever it is, Legion of the guy,
First Prince.
Fallen Prince,
First
First
Prince.
Prince. Fallen
It'll be
First
interesting
Prince.
what they do with the points in the battle scroll and all that stuff too.
But like how it scores, because I don't have I got a little bit of speed, but yeah,
Well, I mean, your primary game is going to be big, right?
yeah,
Like that's still 50 out of the 80.
yeah. Making a unit just +5 to their control, any one of them on the start of your turn is
That's what I'm saying.
wildly abusive.
Yeah, yeah. And Bellacore being 10, you can just snag anything. And now that it's 4 to
Which I also forgot about.
yes, yes.
Oh, the armor is so much better than how I've been playing it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like it's cool. I mean, for those who play in the competitive scene a lot, and I still feel like there was a lot of life left in this season because there was a lot that wasn't touched and played around with, and now it's being flipped again. And this has been a year. Like it's been wild with the updates and everything going on. I still feel like the seasons they present are very fresh, and now we have to learn something new. And it might be shitty in the beginning, but we'll figure it out. It's
It's
just like the
probably
edition change.
Bigger, as big
The
as change.
changing secondaries is huge.
is as big as a change as the new edition. I would say.
Yeah.
Like,
I would
Yeah,
agree.
for sure.
it feels so different. And lists need to adapt. And the first couple 1 to 2 weeks, at least for the best players, is gonna be wild, and then it's gonna start to stabilize. And then someone's gonna find something weird. Like Fabian probably was gonna find something weird, and then off we all go to the races.
And then GW will come out with a points update, and things will change again.
And there's no more Beasts of Chaos and Bone Split. Bone Splitters less so, but
Bone Splitters have never been in a situation.
But
They're
Beast of
good.
Chaos, Beast of Chaos was.
Yeah, they don't win though.
I have like a 25% win rate against Beast of Chaos. Thank God they're gone.
They countered, like they were definitely a rock to a lot of people's scissors, but
Yeah.
there was enough in the meta that just laugh at them. And Slaves of Darkness and Stormcast Eternals were two that didn't give a rat's ass against the Bone Splitters matchup because 2-up saves with an all defense just laughs at Bone Splitters.
I heard a rumor that Beasts of Chaos were going to stay for an extra season.
They still get to, yeah, that's weird, eh? Right? Because
No.
it could still be accepted. They're just not going to get updates.
My friend who plays Beast of Chaos primarily did email the GW Open team, and they said no.
They said he couldn't play it at this event.
Even
That's
though-
still not like, to be clear,
It's
That's-
not, that's not an
that doesn't-
official thing.
that's not
not
the
the
same
meta.
thing.
I don't know.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that.
I'm just giving you
You're not right.
information. Whatever you want to do with that.
No, you're right. You're right.
Up to you.
But yeah,
It's funny that you mention your friend who plays Beasts of Chaos when I've never seen you and the Nuge in the same room. So
I have.
I'm not sure. We can't prove scientifically. You can't say they're not the same person. You can't prove it.
I picked up Carl and I picked up Nuge.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Vast difference.
First of all, flex, go off.
I know, right? You've been working on too. That's what we're
I didn't mean physically picking him up.
You look great.
It's talking about,
Stuff it.
Yeah.
I'd pee in a barrel with you, no problem.
I leave.
And then there were two.
But there's 4 holes.
It becomes a guessing game, and you have to work harder to try to get your aim in the right one.
Do you pinch and then go to the other hole while I chase? I would not be allowed that. That would have way too much room.
You
For
should
so
never
many shenanigans.
stop peeing when you're in the middle of peeing, unless
No, flex that muscle.
unless you're
That's
in
a good muscle.
threatening situation.
No, you got it. That's it's an exercise.
You can
The
do
P- the
those
PC?
before,
Yeah.
after, just not while you're peeing. I don't know.
No. While you're peeing, just pinch off, hold it, then pinch, go again, flex that.
It has tons of benefits.
Tons.
I don't know. I think
Like one other benefit. Like one. Two maybe.
Like chasing your friend around a barrel. But yeah, we're all excited. We have tournaments all coming up. Tristan has Falcon.
I did double book. I was supposed to go to FalCon, and I got excited and booked my flight to Edmonton, and then realized it was the same weekend, and I was like, ooh.
I've got
I've got a
About
Teams
that.
event.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
But I also did get peer pressured by people from my area. I
You're
mean,
very easily influenced. That's true.
I am very, very easily influenced. There's a crew of 7
Pirates.
of us. There was
Look at
no,
me.
there were 7 of us. I think there's now 6 of us coming from Ontario. So it'll be good. 2 of them are probably 2 of the most hated, most hated, disliked people on this
Jet ski?
podcast. No, one.
Oh, on this podcast?
Yeah. One is yours, Jacob, and one is yours, Dayton. Can you think of who in my area you dislike because of one interaction? Both of you, actually.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dayton, who is your person, because they're not the same person.
What? My person? I don't
Yeah.
hate anyone.
That's why I said not hate. I said dislike because of one interaction. You've repaired the bridge, but
Is it Rhino?
no, it's Lionel.
Oh,
Rhymes with Rhino.
well, yeah. Repaired the bridge. Fuck that, man. I'm gonna hit him.
He's going. So
We're friends, but I'm
yeah.
gonna hit him.
So the crew from us is Lionel,
Sabetti.
Michael Sabetti,
Michael.
the 4th, me, Matthias, who's my friend who plays Beast of Chaos.
Pretty sure it's pronounced Matthias.
Did.
But that's
No.
okay.
Did.
Matthias. Matthias is also going to be there, but he's not from Ontario.
Of course he's there. He's gonna be at 5 Alarm too.
Matthias? Oh
Yeah,
no.
he signed up. He's going with
No.
Carson.
No. Oh no, double oh no. And I don't remember who else. I think 2 people dropped. Oh, and then we have Gavin in our room, so there's that too.
But he's not from Ontario.
No. But
Gavin's going up to Edmonton.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be very.
Gavin Gregor.
Yeah, he'll fit right in. Actually, that's Edmonton. No, it's Edmonton. That's Tracetown, bro. That's Oil Town. He'll fit right in. Get him some big glasses, the reflector iridium ones.
Oh, I
And,
don't think
yeah.
he would ever wear those.
No, but he'll fit right in. Yeah, it should be a good time. I got the Estevan one in July, which is at like 20 something players right now.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Should be a
try
good
to
time.
double, but it's...
And I've got a Teams event in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Who's on your
Yep, I'm
team?
playing.
They have an
with-
airport.
what's that?
Werder?
They have an airport.
No, that'd be fun. I'm playing with Adam, Maccabee, and Hunter.
Oh, I
Nice.
thought you were gonna just name 3 Asians.
Ah. I
Hunter
only know
really
3
throws it up
Asians.
there.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not true. I know like 5 in Warhammer.
You ever see that Futurama where Atlanta sunk?
No, the lost city of Atlanta.
It's really good. They're like, the only thing I know about Atlanta is the airport. They're like, no, we have other things. We have the Coca-Cola plant and the airport. It's like it just keeps going back to that bit. It's it's got a nice airport. That's about it. Yeah, that's cool. Teams event should be fun in this edition. that'll change. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
Coach Carl is going to be
I
breaking
also have
that
a
all down.
team Event in July too. End of July.
Yeah, you have a team event next year, which is Worlds.
Well,
I run a teams event, which will be next year.
yeah.
Which is
We also, yeah, Nashville teams, and there's
Yeah.
also Masters, which will be in January.
In January, yeah.
It's a teams event.
It's so strange that it's in January.
Yeah, LVO changing the date just ruined everything for a lot of people.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
But yeah, do you guys want to do any shout outs? Anybody you'd like to acknowledge before we wrap this up?
love.
I'd like to shout out, obviously, my life partner, Joe Pagano, and my other life partner, Bud.
He's fighting. He's fighting. Yep.
And
What?
The divorce.
shout out to Michael Kors for putting this dress on me. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan, who's going to be taking it off later.
Michael B. Jordan.
My shout out is to Johnny, little ears, big dick, coming from Ireland down to my 5 alarm.
Both of them?
Both of them. Yeah. It's gonna be a good time. I'll show him the mountains.
Bet he
Carl,
could
you
reach all the
coming-
way across.
Carl, are you coming in early or what?
I think I'm coming in early. I have to book my flight and stuff still.
Let me take you canoeing, bud. Let me
Yeah,
let me take you
I-
into the mountains.
I would love to go to the mountains.
Let me
I've
put you on an
gone-
elk.
Maybe not on an elk. I also can't swim.
Chicken?
So life vest.
Can I present a chicken?
It's basically the same to Carl.
Those bitches would beat you down.
Yeah, I'm scared of chickens. Well, I used to have it.
I'm pretty sure chickens are afraid of Asians. Actually, I'm sorry. That's how that.
Well,
goes.
here, hold on. This could be good for him because he could practice chasing it in preparation for his next boxing bout.
Yeah. I mean, that would have probably been better.
Maybe if you had chased a chicken, you would have won, Carl.
Maybe.
Do you feel like they ruffle Carl up before they release him into the pen? They grab him by the neck and shake him and then drop him.
If you pick him up by his feet, he just goes limp.
You draw the line in front of him. Carl falls asleep.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. No,
I know.
Just
I
funny
know.
things about chickens. Did you know that if you pick them up by the feet, they just go limp?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They relax. Actually, they almost fall asleep if you hang them upside down. Also, one of the best ways to butcher them because then
Oh.
their muscles aren't tense when you're cutting their head off. So
Because if
helps
you
them
cut off
to
their head
cool
when
down.
they're standing, they can keep running around.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's a
Like a
thing.
chicken with his head cut off. It hurts a saying. Someone told me. Carl, what was your show?
I want to shout out Emmanuel Charest. Sorry, bud. I can't. Oh no, not bud. Yeah.
Always
see
shout
you
out
at
to
Falcon.
Every episode is a show out to Bud.
Yeah.
See you at
Love it.
Falcon.
This is
I thought
our-
You're not going.
No, I said I won't see you at Falcon.
Ah.
Yeah, this is episode 207, but really, it's the Badillion Memorial Podcast number 2.
The Battalion Gambit.
We'll be back next week with the Bud Kaler Memorial Podcast, episode 3.